Nurses, what's the weirdest thing a patient has ever done at the hospital? Around 2 in the morning, the ER doors banged open, and in staggered a man clutching his chest like he was auditioning for a soap opera. His groans echoed down the hall, dramatic enough to wake up patients who'd been sleeping through beeping monitors and overhead pages. We moved fast. Chest pain is no joke, and every second counts. His name was Gerald, mid-50s, sweating buckets and gasping like each breath was his last. I'm thinking heart attack, so we rushed him to triage. Within minutes, he was hooked up to everything we had: EKG, oxygen, chest x-rays, labs. But here's the twist. Every single test came back perfect. His heart was steady, blood pressure textbook, oxygen levels better than mine after 3 cups of coffee, not even a blip on the EKG. Still, Gerald kept clutching his chest and moaning like he was minutes from the grave. Protocol says if symptoms don't match results, we admit overnight for observation, so that's what we did. The next morning, I walked into his room expecting to see a worried patient waiting for news. Instead, I found Gerald sitting upright in bed, flipping through the breakfast menu like he was at a diner. He looked up with a big grin and asked, "So what time does room service usually come around? Do you guys have those little butter packets?" I tried explaining that it was hospital food, not room service, but he was already circling pancakes, bacon, and scrambled eggs like he was about to leave a Yelp review. The man ordered enough food for 3 people. By lunchtime, it was obvious Gerald wasn't acting like someone with chest pain. He'd adjusted the bed to the perfect angle for TV watching, requested extra pillows, and talked one of the staff into bringing him magazines from the gift shop. When I checked his vitals, he was happily eating pudding cups and commenting on the soap opera plot twists. Then he leaned toward me and whispered, "Hey, you don't have to tell my wife I'm here, right? Patient confidentiality and all that." That's when the alarms started going off in my head. We ran another round of tests, still completely normal. Gerald's heart looked healthier than mine, yet every time someone mentioned discharge, he'd suddenly develop tightness or dizziness that just happened to require more observation. By day 3, Gerald was treating the hospital like a vacation rental. He asked for the Wi-Fi password, requested specific meals, and even tried tipping the cleaning staff. Dr. Alvarez told him he was fine to go home, and Gerald instantly fainted against the pillows, claiming waves of dizziness. My suspicion turned into certainty when I walked past the visitors' lounge and overheard him on the phone. He wasn't talking about chest pain. He was telling a buddy about his golf plans for next week and how relaxing it was having meals delivered to the bed. When I walked back into his room, he was rating Jell-O flavors like he was a professional critic. Red's too artificial. Green tastes like medicine. But orange? Orange is the real deal. I asked him straight out what was going on. He looked sheepish at first, then finally confessed. He hadn't been having chest pain at all. He'd faked the whole thing because his wife had been nagging him nonstop to clean the gutters, organize the garage, and fix the roof. He realized the hospital was basically a free hotel with meal service, TV, and no responsibilities. He figured he could stretch it out for a few days and recharge before going home. I was mid-lecture about insurance fraud when the door burst open. His wife, Marlene, stormed in like a hurricane. She'd spent the last 3 days calling every hospital in the city after he mysteriously disappeared. She froze when she saw him propped up in bed with a turkey sandwich in one hand and a pile of gift shop magazines on his lap. Then the storm broke. "Are you kidding me?" she shouted. "I thought you were dead. I missed book club for this." Gerald tried to spin it as a much-needed break, which only made her angrier. She yanked the sandwich out of his hand, tossed the magazines on the floor, and grabbed him by the ear like he was a misbehaving kid. The entire staff stopped what they were doing to watch Marlene drag Gerald out of bed while he was still in his hospital gown. He was stumbling after her, clutching his backside with one hand to keep the gown from flying open. As they stormed toward the exit, Gerald twisted around, locked eyes with me, and shouted, "Can I at least get some of those dinner rolls to go?" Marlene smacked him across the chest with his discharge papers and dragged him straight through the automatic doors. And that was the last time anyone mistook our hospital for an all-inclusive resort.